What's up? Grand Masterful Rich Rising on this beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. We hope that you are having a lovely day. And today is Monday. Reset Monday. Get it in Monday. Shoes tied Monday. Woke up bright Monday. It's a brand new day Monday. Motivational Monday. Get it moving Monday. It's popping Monday. What? What else? It's popping Monday. Yeah. Yeah, man, we hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. Hope that it was fun, enlightening, earth moving, one step closer to your destination. And yeah, man, get at it, get in it, get with it, get So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things I want to bring to your awareness is a couple of things that we've been working on, man. A couple of things we've been working on. How we want to take a little bit of a new angle with block. You go the blah 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 blah, or give me something else to say there. Dang, dude.
Stop the live.
The live is already on.
Stop the conversation.
Damn, already in it to win it. All right, today's topic is going to be how to grow as a couple while pursuing goals without losing peace, patience, and connection. Yeah, that's our conversation for today.
It's gonna be on.
Let me see. Don't bro me. Don't you bro me. I should bro you. All right, guys. If you didn't hear what I said, today's conversation is going to be about how to grow as a couple while pursuing goals without losing peace, patience, or connection. What are the foundations? What's the whole set? So the first point, what's up everybody? Peace, 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 love, healing, and prosperity and success of abundance in your journey in life. Point number one is going to be set the scene, right? Share your why, right? I think between couples and between people that are very close, always your why and your intentions is always important. It says, you are so good. Oh man, I appreciate it, man. You are the best as well. I appreciate you for even throwing the love out there and giving it, man, because a lot of people be trying to retain it, and it's a lot of us out there who want to give it. So thanks for being a reflection. So basically, I think when you're like in relationships, I think your why is very important. I think why you what you want to do, what you want to accomplish needs to be aware before you even want to get in a relationship. I don't think you should get in a relationship just for looks. I think that's a part of the game, but I think after a while, after being exposed enough,
Continue.
after being exposed enough, you just gonna brush my leg. Don't you brush my leg, lady?
I can't. You're not allowed to?
No, you're not allowed to brush my leg.
I
Did
didn't
you
know
adjust
that.
this a little bit better?
That's the second time you're doing this. What's your problem?
I don't know. But yeah, what do you think about people's why, babe, honey?
People's why on relationships?
Before they get in relationships too as well. You think it should already establish? What's up?
Say that again. Be specific.
You think they should establish their why? While they're in a relationship, what's their why as far as in a person, a human being?
Sometimes God is going to put you in a relationship without you discovering anything, because the only way for you to discover yourself is whenever you are with that person. But I feel like you can work on your mental health. You can work on your mindset. Then to wait, you can, because you can do good by yourself. So I think you should, if you are by yourself, I think you should take advantage of that. But if you have a partner, I think you should also take advantage of
Thank you, bro.
why 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 am I here in this relationship? And also don't look at the negatives, because everything comes with the negatives, right?
Yeah.
But if you focus on negative, then that's where you want to stay.
Do you think, are you speaking just from a woman's perspective when you said that statement, or are you speaking from a man and a woman?
Everyone. I'm speaking for everyone.
Do you think it was better for me to have a direction and a why when we got into our relationship?
It was better.
Yeah. Do you think it was better for you in the meanwhile of like discovering a bigger why for yourself? The fact that I came in a relationship with a direction, or with knowing where I wanted to go.
I think it was better. However, I also had my why, so there was a little bit of differences over there.
Yeah.
So sometimes there are. That's why most of the times people, they don't have a business together as a couple. They have different goals. Someone goes this way, someone goes this way, but
Yeah.
it's also possible to bring each other together and and do one thing, just like we did.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It says that you are making a lot of people happy. I appreciate that. My man is
Cool.
giving all the love, man. I receive. Grandmaster for Rich Rising. Stop and smile. Appreciate you. Yeah. That was a lot right there. You got that one. That message. I think too. When we got together, this is another aspect too. Like, how do we bring our whys on our direction together to formulate something for us? Formulate, like, where can we go? Because I already had a destination. You already had a destination.
Yeah.
How can we move towards or move forward in that destination together?
Yeah.
You know.
You're gonna have to ask that again.
Wow.
I know.
Shit. It says, I found some people in a relationship think they would be happier alone, and single people feel
They would be
they.
happy in a relationship. Some find it difficult to appreciate where they are. Oh, and that's very important. It's important to appreciate where you are, because God didn't just bring you over there for no reason. There was a reason for you to be there, and there's some things that you need to learn or unlearn. So I think looking at it and appreciating where you are and understanding that I'm here for a reason. So what am I here to learn? Or to unlearn. It's very important. Yeah, I like what she said.
So let's go to point number 2 there.
I thought we were on point number 3 already. I'm kidding.
No.
Yeah.
Now, unity over urgency.
Oh yeah, this
is a good one.
Uh-huh.
Are we rushing, or are we in alignment? Right? It's
Yeah,
like
knowing that. I remember the days where we were in a rushing, where to-do list was
everywhere.
the main thing. The to-do list was the main thing we were doing that year. It was like we working. Yeah, it wasn't healthy mentally, and of course physically, because you ain't taking care of yourself. All you're thinking about is to-do list, the next best thing to do, the next best thing to execute. Yeah, so
not really focusing on how to prioritize the relationship,
yourself, your mindset, the other partner, like their needs and stuff like that. You just like going. It's just going. Yeah. And that's not healthy. Not at all. Don't do that. Even if you are single, don't do that.
What are ways that people can be conscious and aware of not doing that? If they are doing it, what are ways for them to be able to be present in the moment, to kind of tap in on how not to do it?
For me, I had to do it in order for me to learn. Sometimes I had to do things in order for me to learn that this is the way not to get there anymore. I have to feel the pain. So I had to go through a burnout, like a very serious burnout. In order for me to understand that, oh, this is how I need to flow, not like this but like this, not this way, this way. So some people learn like that, but if you are a person who listens and say what the other person is saying, I will tell you to prioritize rest days. Also prioritize making sure that you have one day where you juggle everything, and then the next day after you juggle all those things, you clarity. You do clarity. You write things down. You just relax. You rest. You move according to what your body is saying or according to what your mind is saying, instead of just like doing it because now you feel like you're being left behind. You're not being left behind.
Yeah.
You are, how can I say this? You are where you're supposed to be. And that's where you're supposed to be. And where you want to be, you're going to get there, whether you move fast or you move with other people or you move slow, you're going to get there anyways. So, and you're going to get there on time.
I like that.
Yeah.
Let's go to point number 3 then. Point number 3, communication, or communicate the vision, not just to-do lists. I feel like, ooh, that's deep.
Yeah. I think I can go back to where we were also just like doing work.
All right, Rihanna.
When we were just like, working, hustling and stuff like that. We did communicate the vision at the beginning, but we didn't stay aligned with where we're going. It's like we woke up in the morning, we went to the airport, we bought the ticket, and we asked the person who's selling the ticket to us, where is the destination? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We forgot our destination, we forgot where we were going, but we were at the airport. You know what I mean? But if you go to the airport, you already know where you're going. So we kind of left the vision behind, or we kind of forgot the vision, and then we were going. We don't know where we were going, but we were going. Yeah. I think it causes that too. So being mindful of like, I need to communicate my vision. That's why most of the people have vision boards, so that you can see your vision most of the time, or you can, have a mood board and stuff like that. So you know what aligns with you at that moment. What are you working on? What are you looking for? Where are you going? Because we forget sometimes. We do.
And the forgetting is basically, how does God want to use us for the bigger purpose, other than us focusing on making money? Other than focusing on like, need more sources of income, or even when it comes to conducting business, are we focusing on doing this business because it generates more money, or are we in it to be of service, of purpose?
Are we in it to win it?
Win what though?
Yeah, I know. It just rhymed, so I thought I could say it.
I like that.
In it to win it.
I always use that.
In it to win it. Yeah, I know.
Do it again.
In it to win it.
Straight up.
Yeah.
All right, point number 4. Protect peace with roles and rhythm. I think more than ever that we are starting to do that now.
Yeah.
How we conduct our business, how we conduct our relationship, and how we conduct even like our to-do list and things that we want to accomplish is becoming more fine-tuned to a rhythm that best suits us accomplishing each thing that we want to achieve.
Yeah. I think it also goes with the bump of failing first. Because, if you don't fail, where are you going to learn from? As much as you can learn from other people's mistakes, sometimes you have to experience it. You have to experience it to get out of it. Same with the comment down here that says people in relationship wants to be single, right? And the people who are single want to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
They think they will feel good. You got to lose it to know that it's important, or you have to make a certain mistake. You have to fall somewhere. There's no way that you're just gonna flow. You gotta fall somewhere. Even plane, they do crash. So, yeah.
That's funny because I had came up with a quote for something yesterday, and somebody said something like, uh, it was a downer statement, like I'm lost or something like that. I don't remember how it went. And I was like, it was a quote. I was like, if I deal with people like this often, this is what I'm gonna say to them. And it was something along the lines. I'm paraphrasing. It was like, well, in order to realize that you're lost, you have to be present at your loss first,
Oh yes, that's true.
right?
That's so
And
true.
then you can be aware that you lost. Or it was another way. It wasn't this particularly, but I'm still paraphrasing. It was like, you know, dang man, it was so good. It was like, I got a problem or something like this is going on,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, in order to realize you have a problem, you got to basically know that the problem is there. And then knowing that you're in the problem, you already doing half of the work because now your mind is already articulating what's the solution.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm paraphrasing hard because this is not exactly what it was
saying,
yesterday. It was so good. I was like, oh, that's good.
I think it's still good. It's still good.
Yeah, it's good. It's close in there, around there in the vicinity.
Yeah.
But yeah. Give us where we at? Where we at?
I was gonna say about what you tell your mind mostly, or what you say in your head about yourself is very important, because that's who you become. Same way when you think that I look a certain way, or these people think this way about me, that's definitely what they're gonna think about you, and that's how you're gonna look, because you already told your mind that this is who I am.
Yeah, and vibrationally wise, you already emitting those frequencies anyway.
Yes.
So therefore, like, if you have self doubt, most people, like, I had this one individual who would always when you see them, they would always be like hoodie, miss eye contact, and doing, just moving without like interphasing energy, and you can always tell that person was uncomfortable just because of the frequency that they was emitting and the thoughts that was rolling in their head while they were moving and acting. You know, in a relationship, I feel like there's always like there's always a point where one is leading more like with the structure, and then there's another part where this person is like bringing the flow. You know, kind of like everything's okay. This is okay. Everything's working out.
Yeah.
What do you think in our relationship? How do you think that aligns in our relationship?
Say that again. I don't want to answer the wrong question.
In a relationship, there's always a person in there that's a leader, and with, you know, a leader that leads or lead with like structure, you know, and then there's one that's always like the flow, you know, and then kind of like, this is okay, things are working out kind of concept in a way.
I feel like when it comes to us, it is that way, but I wouldn't say it's one person. I wouldn't say it's one person leading, but it's me allowing you to lead with most of the things, with everything pretty much. Because I would ask you questions. I would ask for your guidance. I would ask for your like, what do you think about this? What do you think when we take this and put it in here, and take that and put it in there? Which is also most important. Sometimes you have to give your man a way to lead, even though you know you like, you know what, I don't want that. I do not want. You have to try to convince him to understand where you're coming from. Like, no, that's not right. You know, without you getting off track or getting off the line. But yeah, I think that's how it is.
Thank you. Point number 4. Don't let the work become the marriage.
Ooh, work. Yeah, don't let the work become. Sometimes the work doesn't become the marriage. The marriage becomes the work. Sometimes. And the reason why I'm saying that is because most of the time you have to either work on yourselves, or you have to wait for the other person to become in your level of the way of thinking.
Yeah.
I felt like you did that. You had to wait for me to approach the level of mindset that you had. You have to wait for that person, and also you don't have. I don't think prioritizing work more than marriage is good. You can do it together. Always can do it together because that's what it is. It's a togetherness. It's something that we all have to put together and work around. But when it's time for us, it's time for us. When it's time for work, it's time for work. Yeah.
I like that. I feel like when it comes to this, the statement kind of focuses on we are just not like partners. We are not co-workers. We are not leaders. We're not just parents, right?
Yeah.
We are husband and wife, and it's like, okay, what is the role? I think two people who are cultivating themselves like this, or like this concept that we're bringing to the table, is kind of like a leading generational, change, a leading generational movement. And it's like, okay, don't get too wrapped up in the mission, right? Have the mission, have a direction, know what it's going to be like, have the future kind of like mapped out in a way, and at least know with each other what it's going to be like. But understanding that each one of those have a role, right? There's a role that must maintain when you're still having friends and things like that. It's like, how do you maintain a relationship with your friend? How do you maintain a relationship as your wife, being one of your friends, right? Like, we have a friend state, and then we have a husband and wife state, and then we have
a co-founder state.
We have a co-founder state, and we have a parental state, right? And each one of those characters need to be developed, right? And it is also understanding how to cut, take five, and then 3, 2, 1, action. I think that's also important too. Like, just basically how to fine tune what character are you playing right now. And be aware, so that way you can be more sharp, precise, with clarity on how you are projecting, Says, what's up, you guys? You got it straight from the hood. My G, respect that, man. That's what I love to see. Straight up, though. As hell. Appreciate it, CJ. Man, I could just receive right now, bro. I appreciate that. Doing the best that God gave, and working with that, I feel like purpose is everything, and striving towards a direction is the first step. Don't always have to have it all mapped out. Don't always have to have it all clear. When you're striving for the purpose, as long as you're moving in a direction that is impactful and meaningful, I feel like that's the first step always. So if a person doesn't know what the purpose is, it's like, well, how can you serve multiple people, right? How can you start, doing that? What's a way? And literally, I try to lead it towards the principles of God, the principles of the kingdom. I really try to lean towards in that. But we human sometimes, so I gotta be correcting myself. Like I was just talking about, like the role. There's times when you gotta know what character you playing, and there's a time and a place for everything. Right. Do you have anything to say on this point that we on right now about the roles? You want to talk about point number 6?
Yeah, point number 6. Check spiritually, not strategically. I would say that
check in spiritually, not strategic, not just strategically.
Yeah, not just being like you at work, or not just being like you just operating in a business and stuff like that. I feel like checking spiritually is praying, rest, reflecting together or by yourself, depending on where your partner is at that moment. Weekly check-ins. I just started the weekly check-ins not too long ago because I was feeling like I'm not moving. I'm moving, but I'm not moving. I'm moving, but there are times where I feel like I need to stop. There are times where I feel like I'm overdoing it. So I had to have this weekly check-ins where I check in like, how was this week? How did I do? Where did I go wrong? What do I want to fix for the upcoming week, and so on and so forth. And it helps. It's for your mental health. It's for you not to be burned out. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a hey, welcome back. I'm a
What's up? What's up? You're a mom.
I'm a mom, a
wife,
yes.
trainer,
I'm a coach, yes. So all those things, it's like if you're going to take those things and put it in one plate and do it all at the same time, then you're gonna have a problem. You need to do at least two at the same time, and then pull yourself back and say, you know what, tomorrow is another day, and yeah. And
maybe not at the same time, but focus on each one. Timely, fashionable wise.
Right.
Because you can't be two characters in one. You literally have to focus on one thing.
Grand Rising, it's been a while. Been busy praying for my family, please. We just lost my husband's grandpa yesterday. Pray hard for us. Appreciate, especially my husband. We are sorry to hear that. And I don't know what to say.
I know.
But yeah.
My husband, grandfather yesterday. Okay. Well,
sorry
just know that God, there's always a place for us with God.
Yeah.
Like, we not meant to be here forever. And I know that is sometimes a shock to realize that a person is here and not here. But this is the awareness that they say will appreciate the people that you have, the people that's with you, for the time that they're there, So I have to always maintain when I lost my father. Let me rephrase that. When my father transitioned, because I don't like saying I lost my father. I didn't lose anything, right? I already had the experience with the individual while he was here,
Yeah.
And I would love to have more of that. I'd love to have had more of that, but that's not the reality that we live in. And I heard Dr. Miles Monroe say it like this before. He was saying that, even with his wife and his, family members, his son, daughters and stuff like that, the people that he was cultivating in the church, and, people that he got married, babies that he delivered, people that died and he had to speak for, and that was very close and stuff like that. He's like, he said some deep stuff, and I was like, dang, that's the next level stuff. And he was like, I have, a non-visual seminar, or not seminar, but simulation that happens that if my wife passes, I know I've already did the emotional visualization of it. Like, I won't be like devastated. I will be more of like, I prepared myself for this right now, because this is the reality that we live in. And when my pops transitioned, I cried for a whole day, or damn near a whole day.
Half a day.
Right? Half a day, and then the next day it was like
it was morning till it was half a day.
It was morning till afternoon, and then I woke up the next day and was like, dang, he really gone. Right, he not in the physical no more per se, but next day I woke up and I felt the emotions. I released them, and it didn't go past like I think 10, right? Maybe something around there. It didn't go past 10, and I was like, all right, I'm done, yo. Like, there's no more crying that I can do. Like, it happened. What's happened has happened. There's nothing else I can do about it, right? So I gotta move forward and just not be like so emotional about it. It's like, there's other ways. And I think too, me personally, a lot of times when transitions happen, this is another way to respect God, or not even just respect on a level that we think of as humans, but like understand, like, this is another way of God getting close to me. Like, this is another way God is getting my attention. Like, obviously this person means a lot. Okay, now how do I'm supposed to talk to this person in a non-physical, right? So at this point, it's like, let me connect with you. Let me talk to you. Let me get close to you a little bit more, because I realize that, life is a simulation. Like, we live in it and we like, oh, it's so real, but it's like, yeah, it's so real for now. For now, it's not a forever based thing, right? So understanding the appreciation. Last but not least, we only got like
one.
We got 1 point left, but last but not least, there was this guy who said, it was What's his name? His name is Sarut Ungadi or something like that. I don't know. I usually remember how to say his name. But he said
Is
most
it the
people.
one with the
Yeah,
thing? Mm.
the older Indian fellow. He said people always talking about like, if something happened, this is a bad day. This is a bad day. He said, you know, you got to really think about it. You woke up this rising and the sun came up, and do you know that if the sun didn't come up today, less than 24 hours, everything would be dead.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's that's
Yeah.
real.
If the sun doesn't come up less than 24 hours, everybody would be dead. Everything. I said, whoa, I ain't really like think of that.
Real,
Like I ain't
yeah.
never really like
I'm thinking
actually
about plants. I'm thinking about my plants. I'm kidding.
bro said the plans.
I'm kidding. But hey, may his soul rest in peace, to be honest
Wait,
with
I'm
you.
not finished.
And
I got one more.
I hope that your husband takes it easy or takes it the way that he feels he should. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he said you woke up today and no planets within the radius has collided with Earth. Because if it did, we would be dead in less than a millisecond. So, nah, but so yeah. Long story short, I feel like he's like people normally have something happen to them where they get cut off in traffic or something happened at job, and then now they messed up their whole day, and it's like you feeble-minded mortals, like
Yeah.
if only you actually realize how precious the day is, how precious today is, you know, and really understand that life is short. And what is gratitude and appreciation? What is the highest level of that, you know?
And the moment you think that your day is messed up, your day is messed up for real. That's
Yeah.
why I'm saying like everything in your mind is for real.
Yeah.
Like if something happens right now and then you're like, you know what, my day is still gonna be okay. I'm gonna pass through this and my day is gonna be fantastic. Your day is gonna be fantastic. But if you keep thinking about what happened that was negative and that's holding you back and you're just like everything is just gonna go wrong, 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 wrong.
Yeah.
And it's same with our success. We hold ourselves back with thinking a lot of stuff, with being afraid. I know I have been afraid of feeling the burnout, so I don't work as much as I want to because I've been pulling myself back and saying I don't want to have that feeling anymore. It's all about that. But if you're doing things strategically, I'm not gonna get to that feeling. So I feel like it's important to embrace the feeling and be like, you know what, that was there and I need to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think too, practicing surrendering too as well is another, because last but not least on this topic, when a person is transcending, right, and transitioning, no matter how much detachment they have for Earth and everything on it,
Yeah.
there's nothing that they can do about it other than surrender, right? And I think the nature of surrendering is peaceful to the degree that when they transition and finally go, they know there's nothing that they can do about it. And now at this point, they now have to take an inhale and exhale and let go. And I think that's also, this is not a statement for the transitioning people, right? This is a statement for us as well, right? When things are not working out, surrender, bro. It's not even that. It's nothing you could do about it other than be positive and upbeat about it. Thank God that you had the experience with this person. Thank God for bringing them into your life, for you experiencing in the greatness and how a reflection of God is to be like, because that's all we're here to do, is be reflections of our Father. I feel like that's the ultimate. What does heaven look like on earth? And I think the full picture of it all is, how can we ripple effect that throughout time? Meaning, how many people can we impact with that concept, you know? And I think that's the main goal. I think that's the main purpose. So she said he's definitely in heaven, very godly man. I looked up to him, and he was my husband's grandpa, but I felt like he was my own. Even though I married in, he was truly amazing. See, and that's really the gems. It's like what left. How is he a part of him and you? And I think that's the appreciation. Long story short, I got my point across. But we send prayers. We give thanks that he was even here. We give thanks that God allowed him to walk in his godly divineness and be the image that God wanted him to be for Earth.
Yeah.
And that's just it, you know? Thank you. So, point number 7. You wanna go on point number 7?
You got it.
Girl,
You're already on the path.
right
Okay,
on
build with God's blueprint.
That's it.
Sometimes we kind of back away from that and just like build what we want. We just like going, and we forget that the person who we need to work with or his blueprint is very important because it takes you where you want to go. Psalm 120, chapter 127, verse 1. Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Okay, so I feel like nothing goes through without God's blessing, right? And I also want to remind you this: God is not in just your goal, but He's in your growth. Because He knows where you're gonna go, and He knows where your labor is headed. You know, He knows the end. He knows the destination.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to always refer or go to His blueprint all the time.
I like that. I like that.
Say.
Yeah. I think the part where building the house is like the foundation. You know, what's the foundation? What's the principles that you should follow that has stood the test of times? What's the laws that you need to be aware of and apply in your experience that time and time again gives you the experience of this is true, right? Or this is irrevertible, right? This is law, right?
Yeah.
This is universal. And I think being aware of that is very, very important. If you don't have that foundation, if you don't know what it is, I think getting to know what it is and becoming aware of it and then applying it in your day-to-day allows you to have the house and the foundation, right? So then when dealing with God and building the labor, it is not in vain, because, you know, a house without proper structure of the landscape and all the details that come with it, whether or not if it's on a slope, you know, how long the house is going to last for, whether because it's on that slope, what's the proper structure for it to not to start slanting and leaning and the joints and stuff start, you know, becoming apart. It's like you have to know the details of these things, right?
Right.
And I think it plays a big role of understanding, like, what's the relationship with God? How do I get close, and what you laughing?
Go ahead.
All the chudo chop you for laughing.
Go ahead.
You laughing because I did this? Yeah, but what's the relationship? What's the relationship? And if you don't know what the relationship with you and God is, it's like, okay, how do I get better with the relationship? I think one of my biggest ones is, like, for instance, picking up the scriptures a little bit more and then chewing on each section. So, like, I'm focused on Proverbs, right? I know James, I know Peter, but focusing on Psalms right now, I think is the time and the duration in my life that I need to focus on it and take the, like, for instance, the gems that are out of it, right?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have to. And when I say take the gems, I mean like certain scriptures that lead to what's the answer for this and what does this mean, right? Like I'm reading, I just got done with, I'm almost finished at the very end with The Richest Man in Babylon. And in this, there's a couple of, you know, because it's so paraphrasing of old English terms, right? Because, you know, it has thou and they and thee and all this stuff, right? And as the language, but when you really read it slow, is when it start to almost unpack some gems in a chest, right? You're like, oh, I had to read that super slow to get that, and it's gonna take time. I guess I understand that life allows you to understand that it's gonna take time. You just can't jump and be like, oh, I want to do 100 push-ups today, and I've never did 100 push-ups. Like, no, you got to start out small.
That's right.
You want to, but you ain't developed the muscle. You ain't developed the habit. You just can't jump into it and talk about doing 30-day program, 21-day program with you doing 100. You're going to have to do 21-day program and you doing 25 at least.
Yeah. We overdid it.
Overall, I think understanding that life is just about you digesting things slow, because even your system takes 4 hours to digest food. When you think that just because you chew it, it's already digest. No, it's going through a whole process, my friend. And that's how it is too with what I'm understanding with the scriptures. And it's not like reading it as a story. It's about you're reading some parts and you're like, okay, what does that mean? Right? And then like really just digesting it.
It's 45. I know, if we're going to get to the virtual co-working, we need to be out of here.
Okay, I'm done.
I'm done too. So we hope you are having a great day, and we hope you have a great day, great week ahead of you, and we love you so much. We will see you on our next live, which is Monday at 8 a.m. Central to 8:30, not 8:45 like today, but to 8:30. Okay. So yeah.
Stay locked in.
Call vibes only. He's yawning. He's yawning. He was like, oh.
Where's the end button?